Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is SK Crypto K, and today we will break down everything regarding the latest daily ROI Dapp called Ooze Finance, and how this team's innovative ideas for gamification and sustainability take this style ROI Dapp to a whole nother level. So stick around if you want to find out all of the latest news about Ooze, and let's get into it.
Yo, appreciate your time and just know that I'm SK Crypto K, and today you should join my crypto club. Maybe by the end earn some dividends, so in advance I'ma thank you right now for that sub. Hey! Yo, let's go.
Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Let me preface everything by saying that I am not a financial advisor, and these are for entertainment and informational purposes only. All right, there is a lot to break down in this pre-launch deep dive about Ooze Finance, where I will do my best to break this down so you can understand it, and I'll draw key points from the light paper as well as the in-depth white paper to give you all the information that you need to make an informed decision on if this project is correct for you. Also, be sure to stick around to the end of the video for your chance at a whitelist spot to get into this project before pre-sale happens on May 27th. So, just to review the main website briefly, ooze.finance, you can really see aesthetically that they are going for a gamified appearance with not only their website but their NFTs. And even when you take a look at the logo itself, you might be walking away with some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle vibes, as the developer team is actually named Donnie, Leo, Raphael, and Mikey. And as far as the 32-bit graphics go, it definitely gives me vibes of the old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle video games.
Yeah, dude, cowabunga!
So much of what we're going to review should be really familiar to you if you are already fans of Drip, Piston, and other ROI Dapps. But this one does something interesting in regards to NFTs, because when you create your account, you're not just throwing it into a simple dashboard that you're earning your rewards and compounding or claiming off of. Rather, you are putting them into NFTs, which are actually transferable.
So theoretically, you could build a team and then sell them off.
Wait, what? You wouldn't do that, SK, would it? What?
Keep interrupting me and we'll just see what team I put you under.
But some other cool details about the NFTs are that there will be some type of rarity that actually happens. Maybe it'll have a gold rim or a platinum colored rim, or something that just makes it immediately more valuable. But as time goes on, I'm sure the team will share more about that. But also pay special attention to these 3 attributes of strength, speed, and stealth that are on each of these NFTs, and how you can actually earn XP points to level up and change how your daily ROI will actually vary from one account to another. But more on that a little bit later. There are 2 different factions that you can join whenever you start your NFT account. One being Order of the Slime, which is more of your traditional team building aspect, where you have a team leader and several quote-unquote disciples with a similar reward structure that we'll review in a second. But then you also have an NFT branch called the BioPunks, which is more of your solo players who want auto compounding features and for the system to do everything on your behalf. Coming down a little bit further, you can see a pretty cool graphic right there. But when it comes to Ooze, you are going to be earning up to 2% a day on your Ooze earnings. This is where you can simply stake your Ooze into an upgradable NFT that will be minted for you and tied with your deposit. Build a team and recompound your daily interest, or upgrade your NFT with liquidity and XP, which we'll go over, or simply sell your NFT altogether.
No, please don't.
What did I tell you? Anyways, growing wealth in Ooze is more than just one path.
Coming down to the roadmap here, you can see in Q3, they are aiming to have a peer-to-peer loan-backed system with some special credit, in addition to the NFT marketplace to sell and trade with low fees. And then lastly, on the website, when you hit the start button, it just tells you that the Dapp is coming soon, and to go ahead and subscribe to all of their socials, where you can read the light and the white paper. And more specifically, if you have a whitelist, then the private pre-sale for that is on May 27th, which there will be an easy 48-hour window for you to get your max allocation of 1,000 USD into the platform before it goes to public pre-sale on May 30th.
Now, in regards to this white paper,
I'll basically break down everything pertinent that you need to know, but I will have the links in the description if you wanted to go through this with a fine-tooth comb. But just know that the Ooze token is on the Fantom network. So this is not on Binance Smart Chain. This isn't on Polygon. This is a very easy to use blockchain with very fast and cheap transaction fees. And much like other projects, it will be tradable on an open exchange in addition to an internal DEX. Your Ooze can be sacrificed into the sewer contract to earn 1% daily on your investment.
sound familiar?
This daily 1% can then be compounded and more earned through the referral rewards to grow your balance up to a base amount of 8 times your deposit,
Which is a familiar and sustainable idea borrowed from the Piston token.
which that project is doing amazing, by the way. If you haven't checked out any of my videos, please do. But back to this, you can claim up to 3.65x your balance for a total base of 29.2x on your deposit.
Now, much like Piston token,
Just because you put in a deposit of, let's say, 1,000 Ooze and you compound it normally up to 8 times that amount, so 8,000 Ooze,
that does not mean your entire account is done.
so just know that there is an ultimate max payout of 50,000 Ooze tokens. So if you started with 1,000 and then you compound it all the way times your 8x, then you will have 8,000 Ooze tokens, which you can no longer compound regularly. And if you wanted to stop right there and just claim out your 365 from then on, you could. And then you would ultimately reach a total of 29,200 tokens.
However, that is below the 50,000 ultimate max payout.
So instead, what you do when you hit 8,000 tokens is that you have to then add fresh deposits or manually compound, meaning your daily rewards that come out, you can claim, which will receive a claim tax, and then you can redeposit it back into the system, which counts as a fresh deposit, which is also taxed. However, whatever meter that got filled up by you compounding your initial deposit by 8 times, you can reduce that meter and get up to another 8 times your deposit by adding fresh capital or manually compounding. This is the same system that is on Piston token. It is a fantastic system. And the sheer fact of having to manually compound so you get taxed on the claim and then taxed on the deposit
Does wonders in regards to contract balance and stability.
So just keep that in mind. Loyalty is rewarded in the factions in the sewer, and you can grow your max balance and daily ROI by earning and allocating
Extra potential points to upgrade your NFTs.
Now, going to the next area, let's find out what sets Ooze apart from the others. Basically, this is just saying how you have 2 of those paths with the NFTs to choose from. First up being the Order of the Slime, which is the exact tried and true model of team building that you are already familiar with Drip and Piston. One key thing that they do allow you to change though is on your main account NFT, you can choose a tax kickback that everyone who signs up underneath you can actually get a return on. So for example, if I were to set mine to a 75% kickback, that 10% reward that I would receive from you would only give me 25% of that taxed amount, and the other 75 would go back to your deposit. And then at any time, I could change that tax bracket to where all the new referrals coming in after that point might be under a 50-50 tax kickback. So there's some interesting parameters that they're doing there that we'll go into more detail in a second. And then the other NFT branch that you can go down are the BioPunks. So for this, it has an auto compounding or auto ooze feature that manages your wallet for you. Auto compounding and claiming at a frequency based on your long-term goals.
Interestingly, you can save on your gas fees as all the compounding and claiming is automated for you.
You just only have to pay gas whenever you choose to withdraw your claimed amounts. So this is a pretty cool feature if you have a secondary or third wallet. Just be aware that you are required to have a team leader above you, and that when you first deposit into the BioPunk NFT, your upline will only get that initial deposit of 10% reward. In regards to compounding, there are no rewards that go up to the upline or round robin in any of the BioPunk NFTs. Those rewards still happen though with your Order of the Slime, which is interesting overall. We covered the fact that the NFT is transferable and even sellable. Another interesting aspect here is the extra potential points. So looking over here at the light paper, you have those 3 attributes that we saw on the NFT card earlier, which is your strength, your speed, and your stealth. And the only way to increase these is with those XP points. So coming back here, your good behavior in the system is actually rewarding you XP by doing things such as compounding your investment, depositing more liquidity, gaining new participants under your tree with Order of the Slime, and lastly, rewarding your people with airdrops. All of these positive actions help to yield XP for you, which you can then put into these 3 attributes. So we might as well cover it while we're looking at it right now. But if you look at your strength, you can increase the total growth of your deposit from that 8x that we talked about off your initial deposit up to a 12x before you ever have to worry about manual compounding or adding fresh capital. The second attribute that you can mess with is your speed. And this is what takes you from your 1% a day all the way up to 2% daily, including everything in between 1 and 2% as you increase this meter. And then lastly, you have stealth, which increases your automatic kickback from taxes to the system from the base 25% up to 75%. Which basically means if any of your compound rewards or deposit rewards are hitting the round robin system, regardless of what that team leader has set up with their tax kickback, you get to set up your own by receiving up to 75% of your compounded amount going upward back to your deposit. But I'm sure the white paper will have some more details in that regard. Coming back down to what else sets it apart is the 8x and 12x deposit that we talked about. You have higher team rewards than other similar projects. So as the leader of your Order of the Slime, you are called a guru, and the tax on every deposit always hits you, the guru, and the other half of that tax is going up the round robin system. And interestingly, and one of my favorite aspects of this protocol is slime. So basically, to qualify for team rewards, you must purchase an increasing amount of slime liquidity pair to get each reward level underneath you in the swamp contract. Slime is created by taking ooze and pairing it with USDC, to which that liquidity is then increasing the price stability of the project. So specifically about this slime LP system, I want you to think of the reservoir contract over on Drip. And we all know the benefits of actually using the reservoir because it supports the price of Drip. However, the incentive to use the reservoir isn't very strong. So what this team has done has actually strongly incentivized people to use their version of the reservoir by giving you 2 reasons to make slime LPs using your ooze and USDC. The main one being this is how you unlock your downline rewards. And the second one is you can stake it to actually earn a daily drip of XP, which is what you're gonna wanna use to level up those 3 attributes we talked about. So really exciting stuff in regards to how they innovated that idea. Now, let's go over to the tax breakdown. Essentially, much like most other sites, there will be an internal DEX where if you buy the ooze token, there is no tax. But if you were to use an exchange, there is a 10% buy tax, where initially 3% will go to marketing and 7% will go over to the contract balance. However, after initial launch, all 10% of that tax will go to the contract balance, which is incredible to think about because this team isn't really taking anything for the long term on this project in regards to like a 1% marketing and dev fee, they're going to get enough of that 3% out of the initial launch week time frame to get everything kicked off. And then they are investors just like we are. Moving through the rest of this pretty quickly here, the deposit tax into the sewer is 10%, much like other platforms, where 10% immediately goes up to the upline guru. With every single deposit, there is no round robin when it comes to depositing. When you claim from the sewer, there's a 10% tax that goes to the contract balance. When you compound in the sewer, there is a 10% tax, which is higher than the other platforms. However, what they do with it is 5% always goes to the upline every single time. Then the other 5% goes up in a round robin form through 15 levels of the upline. Now, what they do differently here is another sustainable idea. Because in most other projects, team leaders typically tend to connect right to the dev wallet. That way, whenever the folks below are compounding, the rewards would hit the upline wallet, and then the next time it would skip and hit the dev wallet, and then the next time it would just cycle back down and hit the upline wallet again. However, in this system, I'll jump ahead a little bit and show that every round robin reward after the dev wallet is a ghost compound. Meaning, in this example here, if you have the system wallet, then you've got Joe and Murray, Samantha, Fred, Kramer, Liz. So in turn number 1, it hits Kramer, who is eligible to receive Liv's compounding tax. That turn, he gets the full 10% tax. Then in turn 2, half of that tax hits Fred, but he's ineligible. So that turn of the 5% tax just goes to the contract balance, which is why he doesn't have a check mark here. Then turns 3 through 5 hit Samantha, Murray, and Joe, those 3 consecutive times. Turn number 6 will hit the system wallet, which is right there. And then this is what I mean by turns 7 through 15. There are no further gurus above the dev wallet, so all of these bonuses go to the contract balance. So Kramer, who was the direct above Liz, will not see his turn again until turn number 16. So coming back to the taxes, that is what I mean by the compounds going up 15 levels, but they do it differently on this contract. Then coming down to sells, you have your standard 10% sells, which has the same breakdown as the buys. Transfers this same exact way, 10%. Adding and breaking liquidity is 10%, and then transfer of Ooze deposit NFTs has a 1% transfer tax charged on the deposit, and then a 5% suggested royalty charge on the sale of these NFTs in that future marketplace, all of which go to the contract balance. Coming down to get started, remember that this project is on the Fantom network, and you will need Fantom tokens to handle all of your gas on this platform. Separately, you will need your USD coin for your actual investment. And what's really cool is if you're already set up on a similar chain, such as Binance Smart Chain or Avalanche, you can simply swap your USDC and bridge it directly to Fantom via a bridge such as Synapse protocol. So taking a look quickly at Synapse right here, you can see if you're going from the BNB chain, you can then click a list of supported blockchains such as Kronos and Fantom right here. Then you can just take your USDC and bridge it right over. So really clean system, but let's see if they go into anything further. If you are using MetaMask, then know that you have to set up the Fantom network in your RPC list, which is shown right here by clicking the custom RPC and then entering this information right here, such as the network name, Fantom Opera, the RPC URL, chain ID symbol, and the block explorer URL. Make sure you are putting these in verbatim as you see it right here on this screen, which should look similar to what you see here. Another cool thing that you'll notice here, if you use a bridge via Synapse protocol, it will automatically purchase some Fantom tokens for you to use as gas. Then afterwards, you can make sure to go to a DEX such as Spooky Swap, Spirit Swap, or Bogged Finance to transfer more of your USDC for gas so you don't run out. I do like that they included a little safety in the blockchain section right here. So if you want to go ahead and pause and read that, this goes for any project in crypto that you're in. Things that are simple, but you know that crypto is not intuitive for all newcomers. So be sure you're always sharing the positive message of never giving anyone your private wallet addresses, never connecting your MetaMask to a wallet site you do not recognize, or a shady scam project that you haven't done enough research on. If you receive random tokens in your wallet, do not ever interact with them and try to sell them thinking that somebody actually gave you free money, because they didn't. And then make sure you do your research on the actual Ooze website for the correct token. Then they have a section of making sure that you're purchasing that correct Ooze token, which you can pause and read if you'd like. But then coming down to the sewer, this just goes over the basics that we already discussed, which is you're forfeiting your Ooze tokens and locking them into one of the two types of NFTs, Order of the Slime or BioPunks. Everything else we already know. There is a minimum of 1 Ooze per deposit. Moving down to NFT rules and rewards. Don't get hung up on the formulas. It's basically everything you already know, such as what your Ooze balance is, which is everything that you've deposited yourself, plus whatever you've compounded on top of that, plus whatever Ooze rewards you've received from either your downline or your upline airdropping you. Your daily rewards for Ooze are just based on your ROI percentage from 1 up to 2% multiplied by your current Ooze balance, which is shown already in this line above. It then goes over your 8x that you can do on your Ooze deposit, which is your local max balance base. But remember that there is a maximum of 50,000 Ooze tokens claimable per NFT. Your NFTs are sellable, and both Order of the Slime and BioPunks have the ability to airdrop Ooze to other member NFTs. So remember the good behavior that rewards you with XP. Just know that you can do that even as a BioPunk as well. Much like all of the other platforms, they do have the same whale taxes that you are accustomed to, except because this is based on 50,000 tokens as a max, which happens to be 5% of the overall 1 million tokens that are minted, you will incur an additional whale tax up to just 25% overall, which is nice because it's not 50% like you see in some of these other platforms. And I think with everything they're doing in regards to the 8x or 12x compounding, the incentivization for the slime aspect that we're about to go over, you have enough avenues of liquidity staying in this protocol that you don't need to go above 25% for an additional whale tax. So pretty neat what they're doing here. Coming down to Order of the Slime for a quick overview here. Just know that recruiting disciples is the fastest way to grow your Ooze due to the extra rewards that you're earning. Recruiting new people does require you to share your NFT ID or referral link to anyone, because uplines are required. In order to have a downline tree, you have to hold enough slime LP to qualify for those rewards. We already know that. If any of your new disciples underneath you decide to choose the BioPunk, which is the solo play, remember, you will only receive rewards on their initial deposit tax. Remember, there are no compound rewards that go upward after that. Taxes and kickbacks, just remember that anyone who does a fresh deposit, you will get the rewards for that full amount minus the kickback that you set on your team leader NFT. 50% of that 10% tax afterwards ends up going to you every single time, and then the other half of that tax is going up the reward round robin system. And just remember that all of your downline rewards are hitting your balance. The round robin tax system hits ineligible wallets and then just sends it over to the contract balance. All round robin hits 15 turns no matter what and how many people are above you. And then that changing kickback amount that you set, they go into a little more detail right here. So as an example, if you set it to a 50% kickback rate, then 5 disciples join, and then you change your kickback rate to 25%, the first 5 disciples who joined before your change are locked in at a 50% kickback, whereas all new disciples will receive the new 25% kickback. And then moving on to BioPunk additional features. It looks like they have 5 presets here. So basically, you could be a freeloader and claim only once a day, all day, every day. Or you could be type A, which is compounding once a day until you hit the max balance. Then it claims once a day. And that max balance, remember, would be your 8 times as a default, unless you level up that XP bar. Two-faced, which alternates your claim and compounds once a day until you hit max balance. Then it just claims out once a day. Then you have a weekender, which compounds 5 days a week and then claims 2 days a week until you hit max balance. Then it claims out automatically once a day. And then you have the holiday maker, which compounds 21 days and then claims for 7 days straight until you hit max balance, and then it claims out once a day. The key thing here too is that this is based on a setting that you can modify at any time. So feel free to play around with those different options. Moving over to XP, essentially just know that they have a contract called the Swamp, and this is where you're going to be getting your Ooze and USDC LP tokens called Slime. And there's a daily XP amount that you can gain, which is essentially your slime amount staked times 0.002. And there happens to be a daily maximum that you can get, which is 0.004 XP times the amount of ooze you actually have deposited. It also shows you your rate as far as your auto ooze compounds. And then whenever you airdrop another NFT some ooze, you actually get 0.4 XP multiplied by the amount of ooze that's actually being airdropped. You're also earning XP whenever a new deposit is made in your order of the slime. So this also applies when one of your recruits chooses to join the BioPunks and makes their first deposit, but you must be eligible to receive the rewards from that level of downline in order to receive the XP. So essentially, the amount of XP you'll gain as a team leader is based on this formula, which captures the downline that they're hitting. So for example, if I'm reading this correctly, if someone deposits 100 ooze directly underneath me on my level 1, then I will receive 10 XP. However, the person above me, my upline, will receive 5 XP off of this same 100 ooze. So that's XP that we're getting, not ooze that we're getting. That's handled by the separate round robin system. If there is a third person above me, they will get 2.5 XP, so on and so forth, all the way up to 15. So this total approaches 20 XP rewarded for this deposit of 100 ooze amongst all 15 people above that person, with me included. And as you can imagine, since I won't have 15 people above me, a lot of these will just be ghosted and not go anywhere. When it comes to spending the XP, you can take a look at this breakdown here, but essentially it's the same exact 3 attributes that we reviewed right there, except they throw some fancy formulas for you to chew on. Now, there are limits on each of these 3 attributes here that are detailed right here, but essentially they're based on your ooze deposited. So to max out your strength, speed, or stealth, you can only increase by this number based on the ooze amount that you have deposited. So if you only have 10 ooze in your entire deposit, that means that you can only have 40 XP total that will go into this attribute meter right here. And depending on how much that takes to actually get there, you'll need to increase your NFT ooze deposit, so then you can have higher capacity to get this XP meter higher. Same thing goes for your max speed and your max stealth, but essentially it's designed also such that you will not be able to get maxed attributes on all 3 categories. You'll likely only be able to max out 2 of them and then have a weak third. There's also a whole bunch of example right here that I can't wrap my mind around just yet, but we'll figure this out over time. Just know that everything that they're doing for the mechanics here are to protect the system against manipulation and ensure that all size deposits have ability to benefit from the XP system proportionally. So feel free, use the link in the description below, or pause the video, that way you kind of wrap your mind around this. But the main takeaway is that everything is strategically done and you cannot maximize every attribute, so choose wisely where you spend your XP. Now, lastly for this video, when it comes to the slime protocol and using your ooze and USDC liquidity pair tokens, just know that this will act exactly like the reservoir system, where you're going to take your USDC, and when you deposit it, there's a 10% tax. In addition to whenever you withdraw from it, there is a 10% tax. Now, 50% of that tax, or 5% of the amount you deposited, goes into the dividend vault. This vault will pay out 2% of its total value every single day to all slime holders relative to the percentage of the slime balance they hold. The other 50% of that tax is then also used to create slime liquidity, which is locked by the contract, and the sole purpose of that is to stabilize the price of ooze and raise its price floor as the amount grows over time. So this is the overall breakdown of how the swamp works, but there are 2 areas of the swamp that you can choose to put your slime into. First would be the XP system. So the amount of slime that you throw in here, you'll actually earn a daily XP based on this rate multiplied by the amount of slime that you have in the system. You're also capped on the daily amount of XP you can get based on this formula, which is on the ooze amount you have deposited. And by capping everything by the ooze deposit, this prevents manipulation and flash loan attacks on this protocol. And this is just one of the 2 areas that I just mentioned. The second one being the team building reward eligibility area. So this is that same slime system that has a 10% in and out, where you're earning rewards at 2% daily relative to your size holdings. However, when you put slime in this area, this is how you unlock downline rewards for 15 levels based on a 10.8 times multiplier. So essentially, to reach a certain level down to 115, the amount of slime required will essentially just be this multiplier for a number of deposited ooze, noted by this area here, which is then multiplied by your amount of ooze deposited. So if you have 1,000 ooze that is deposited in your NFT and you wanted to reach 5 levels down, well, the multiplier is 1.3 right there. You would need to have 1,300 with what I'm assuming is USDC amount of slime in order to unlock that reward level. Now, similarly, if you had 2,000 ooze deposited in your balance, then to unlock level 5, you would need to then have that times 1.3, which is $2,600 worth of the LP token in order to achieve that. So note that if you deposit more ooze into an NFT, thereby increasing your deposit amount and the amount you are able to compound to, your team building requirements will increase and you may lose eligibility for levels you were previously eligible for. So keep an eye on the table in the swamp contract to ensure that you are still eligible. Meaning, in that same example above where you had $1,300 worth of the LP token that you needed to have level 5 based on a 1,000 ooze deposit, well, that all changed when I added to my ooze deposit amount, because now to stay at level 5, I need to have $2,600 worth of my slime dollar amount in order to stay at 5 levels deep. So this is a dynamic team system that you need to pay attention to as your ooze deposit climbs. You need to stay aware of where you fall on this multiplier and how much slime dollar value you need to hold to keep rewards coming. And that's what this note down here is saying. So just be careful in that regard. Now, overall, when you look at the swamp and the slime mechanic, which is essentially the reservoir from Drip, however, you have 2 areas to put your slime into, which is not only rewarding you in XP or unlocking your downline rewards, but you're also getting paid from the daily 2% dividend vault, which is giving you rewards relative to your holdings. So overall, a really innovative take on the reservoir. Ooh, all right, that was a long video. Thank you so much for your patience and getting through that with me. If you found this video helpful and you would like to sign up under my Ooze team, then I kindly thank you in advance and ask that you check back whenever the project launches, because I will update my description and my pinned comment with my team referral ID. And much like other platforms that I'm team leader in, I will be giving back 50% of my rewards based on a minimum amount that you have deposited underneath me. So in regards to your pre-sale chance, and if you would like to be whitelisted for the upcoming May 27th pre-sale, then please be sure to leave a comment down below with some of your favorite aspects about this protocol, and be sure to include the hashtag Ooze. If you do not include the hashtag, I will not choose you to be whitelisted. And be sure to pay attention if I reply to your comment, and also add that little YouTube heart so you know that it's me. So folks, that is all I have for this video. If you enjoyed it, then please smash that like button and hit that subscribe button, as well as the notification bell. And if you vibe with me and would like to join my Telegram community, then find the link down below. And until next time, please stay safe out there, stay blessed, and make good choices with your crypto.
Whoa, cowabunga dudes! I don't know half of what I just heard, but I am bullish.